Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be focusing on habits that helps us to increase our productivity in whatever we do. You can either be a student, you can be a worker, you can be a stay-at-home parent, it can be in any field of your life. But we are going to be looking at what habits do those people who always strive ahead, who always seem to be like they make it every time in life, regardless of the tasks that are at hand. What habits do they actually incorporate? Sometimes people around you, they will tell you that this is the 1%, habits of the 1%. The 1% we know, these are the billionaires, these are the millionaires, these are the people that are owning companies. These are the people that we seem to be striving to be. But isn't it interesting that if we are striving to be somebody, I think it makes sense that we're trying to say, okay, fine, let's look at an entrepreneur. This person, this is what I'm striving to be, for example. But what kind of elements, habits, characters, and personalities does this person possess that will help me as well if I incorporate it in my own life? That will help me to get there. So we're just going to look at a few habits that these people who tend to be doing and excelling well in everything that they're doing, what do they actually do? You know, it's very important like this day. So let's write it down. Let's write it down. Habits that increase productivity. If you do a deep contemplation, you would actually realize that we cannot all be doing the same things. This is why we are not all getting the same results. This is why now you will see people who are making it in life tend to be set apart, to be different to most people that you see on a daily basis. These are people that are aiming high. These are people that are hungry for success. But what do they actually do to be able to aim it? Because it's it's not good enough to just think and wish on a daily basis. Oh, I wish I'm rich. I wish I want to drive a Lamborghini. I wish I have a better life than this. I wish I was living in a bigger house than this. But what happens? What are you actually doing to change your circumstances so that you can move from that A to that B goal? What are you doing? But then if you feel like you've been striving all your life and now you're maybe in your mid 40s, 50s, but nothing has actually changed, you have to be thinking, okay, so that person that is the same age as me, that person might actually be in a different country, different part of the world. But what is it? Let's say you are somebody who has been working, grinding, you felt like you went to university, you attained that degree, but you're actually feeling like it didn't get you or didn't give you the money or the lifestyle that you were expecting to have. But you're also seeing somebody who is the same age as you, who went maybe the same university, or it could be a different university, but also you feel like also strived and went to higher education and did stuff. But they ended up assuming and looking like they made it in life. They have a bigger house, they have a bigger car, they're financially independent, they travel all over the world, they, like driving the biggest cars, Range Rovers and all sorts, all of what people want, or Lamborghinis. And you're wondering, what is the difference now between me and this person? So we're just going to look at the habits that these people incorporate in their life to always be productive in everything that they do. So number one, we're going to look at these people, they prioritize tasks. Have you noticed that before you even get out of bed, you've got 1 million things already in your head that you need to be doing? Already before you come out of bed. So you're already overwhelmed. before you come out of bed. But how can you scale this? How can we make this work to our advantage? Of course, you cannot avoid tasks because they're still going to be there tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. But what do we do to be able to keep on the floor, to be able to keep on, having that workflow going, to be able to be productive enough so that we can achieve the dreams and goals for that week, for that day, for that year? Okay, so number one, after we prioritize, what are we actually thinking? We're going to be a morning person, right? So in the morning, when you wake up, you've already filtered, right? So you're going to be filtering, okay, these are my tasks, but which one am I going to start first? Advice is start with the hardest one. Difficult task. Why? By getting rid of, because if you do it already, that is already something you're going to put on a list, and then you're going to cross it out. So by getting rid of or making sure that you've completed the most difficult task for the day, it helps you to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Because the worst thing that you can do is to feeling overwhelmed before you come out of bed, or feeling overwhelmed all day. So if you already cross it out by 10 o'clock in the morning, that is already something that is already done. So it's going to increase actually your motivation. Why? Because it's something that you've been dreading to do. You manage to do it first thing in the morning, and then it's out of the way. So now that it's out of the way, it's going to improve your focus, because now you're actually maybe concentrating and focusing on something that you actually enjoy. So by eliminating and doing the most difficult task first, it helps with the flow, it helps you keep motivated, and it actually boosts your energy levels, because now that thing that was stressing you is out of the way. So now next you're going to be thinking, okay, now after, let's keep it a bit simple. Okay, now after I've exercised, maybe that was the thing that was, now what do I do? I'm going to cook. And then what do I do now? And then I'm going to clean. You see, it's getting easier and easier and easier. And then after that, I'm just going to maybe sit outside or go for a 10-minute walk. So the tasks already have been broken down. You started with the heaviest one because maybe you're going to go to the gym, do some weightlifting, do also all those heavy, strenuous work. But now that is finished, you just come and you make a meal. This meal might also be a bit heavier, but compared to exercise, it's less difficult. And then you're going to clean up after yourself and then go for a 10-minute walk, which is a relaxing walk anyway. So already you can see that the tasks have been broken down and they're becoming bearable as we go down the ladder, as per se. So after you've got that, it's going to keep you motivated and it's going to help with the flow, right, of the walk. So before you even know it, by the time it gets to 4 o'clock, you'll just be happily ticking away all the activities that you did. Why? Because you started with the most difficult. You were motivated throughout the day. It kept your momentum going. That is very important. Momentum. It kept it going on a rise all day. Compared if you started with the smaller one, you're still going to be feeling, oh my goodness, I still have to do that, audition, that task that is so hard. So in the end, it was even going to be overwhelming and you're going to start to feel tired. You end up even going to bed. You end up being demotivated that you don't even want to do anything. So by setting in the morning, they say morning is where your mind is the sharpest. You have enough clarity, you have enough focus to be able to encounter all those challenging issues. So in the morning, you do all those, if it's auditing that you want to do. If it's auditing, your finances, maybe sorting out, maybe phoning the banks, things like that. Those things that are very, very hard and but very important at the same time, because that's where your life is. That's what is going to be giving you money. But it might be a bit strenuous. It might be a bit challenging. If you do them first thing in the morning, it's all done, and then all the other tasks that you've got throughout the day, you're going to see that it's going to be so much easier. You're actually going to be enjoying it whilst you're doing it. But at the same time, remember to take minimum, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes break between each task, to give you time to regroup, to give you time to keep your pace as well, to give you time to actually have that break. It's also good for your mental health. So pace them, keep them going. But when you pace them, you have that 5 minutes break. It's very good. 5-10 minutes, have a cup of coffee, and then that way you'll be ticking off what you've done. It will keep you motivated as well when you do it that way. So another habit that we can look at that is very important to increase our productivity is minimizing distractions. This is very, very important, to minimize distractions. This can be in any form. This can be through people. This can be through social media. That is the big one these days. This can be noise. This can be clutter. And procrastination. In this issue is whereby instead of you starting what you're supposed to be doing, like we said, now you're going to end up cleaning, cooking, when you know that you're supposed to be doing your accounting book. So it might appear like you're still doing something, you're not sitting down, you're not lying down in bed, but you are actually task avoiding on this one. It's like a task avoiding, because at the end of the day, you still have to do it, but you're just procrastinating. You're just putting it off. Instead of you doing it, you decide that, oh, I want to do something. So in people, it's very difficult sometimes. Let's say you're working from home. It's usually when you're about to really start around 9 o'clock, the children have gone to school, the house is looking okay. Now you're thinking, okay, now everybody's starting work, even those ones who go to the office, for example. But you are at home straight away, but maybe you work from home, right? Or you're an entrepreneur, it's your own business. From 9 o'clock, when you're just about to start, that's when the phone call of an uncle, an auntie, or somebody's calling you. Or it's like never ending texts, and now WhatsApp, distracted, just receiving some status update, notifications that are not important, that you have not subscribed for, because people just decide that they can share this joke with you 9 o'clock in the morning. For real, when you are trying to focus, you're trying to complete the task for the day. So you can see already that people and social media are a big problem when it comes to productivity, right? And you as we are also social beings as human beings, isn't it? You cannot help yourself. Most of the time, we wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do, you want to talk, you want to phone somebody, that's our nature. But if you know you've got tasks, and if you know that you've got a business that you want to run, and if you know that you're a person that you are trying to set up a business, or you're trying to be productive in your life, to be in that 1% of the population, you don't have time for chit chat every day. You can text, yes, in the morning for 2 seconds, or maybe leave it off until later on. Switch off your phone if you can, but then sometimes maybe you need that mobile phone for your business. But you can switch off notifications. There's some apps now that have been invented especially for this social media and people calling, that it's called Focus at Will and Forest. You can install those ones in your phone so that they know when it's time for you You don't need disturbance. They will switch off. They will make all these other apps and notifications to sleep. So you are not distracted at all. Why? Your main focus is from 9 to 4. You want to be as productive as possible so that you can achieve that dream, right? So for you to have this focus, you do not need any type of distraction at all. Because the moment one comes, another one comes, another, now you need to reply, now you need to do this, and then now what you were focusing on now, it's, you're distracted. Now the quality of your work is going to decrease, and then now, can you imagine the amount of wasted time that you've had? 10-15 minutes of now chit-chatting of something that is not even important. And there's usually that one friend that will always, if you give them chance, they can phone you all day. They can text you all day, and if you give them a chance, that person is going to take away your energy. It's like an energy vampire. It's going to take away your energy, because now instead of you focusing on what you actually have at hand, which is to try to make it, to have that financial independence that everybody's talking about, to have that lifestyle that we see now on TV and everywhere else, where people are driving Bentleys, people are traveling all over the world, people are changing their life every day, and you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? Am I not still working like everybody else? No, you're working, yeah, but maybe you're doing the wrong thing. So now let's try to focus and be like those people. How do we do it? We increase our productivity in what we are trying to aim for, so that instead of you wasting time doing things and spending time and energy on things that is not actually going to help you, then we need to switch it off for some time. And then if you show it that way, people will respect. After a while, they realize they cannot get in contact with you from 9 o'clock to 5, or that time that you want to be serious and focus on your task and your dreams and your goals. And then that way they will also stay away on that time, because at the end of the day, they can't get, maybe if they need to, then from 6 o'clock they can always phone you. Why not? And then from 6 o'clock, you can always go on social media, on TikTok and WhatsApp and all sorts, to see what's happening around you. But the moment that you need to focus, use it wisely, because time is the most important resource that we have. And we don't know, and we don't realize this, unfortunately, until we're older, until it's too late. Because, this 8 hours, everybody has it, but it's what you use with it. So when you're already a person who is mature, you've got a family, you've got other commitments, you will see that the little time that you have, you need to use it wisely, because if you don't, you are just going to stay in that position that you're trying to run away from. Because if you cannot use it effectively, it's something that you cannot renew. You cannot say, well, tomorrow I'll do it tomorrow. Right now, 2025, is it not yesterday? It feels like yesterday when we're doing now we are in 2025. It's January the 1st. What are our dreams? What are our ambitions? And people were writing down their goals for the year, what they're planning. It's nearly April. It's nearly April already. That is already nearly 4 months gone. So if you have not used it wisely, that is the first quarter, 3 months, that is already gone out of the window, and you're not going to get that time back. So let's think about it very well and see, because you cannot go in, year out, talking about the same dream, talking about the same goals that you will never be able to achieve, only because you are not using your time wisely. It's not because you're not clever enough. Most people that you see who are driving all these Lamborghinis, who are maybe became traders, they're not that intelligent. They just found a way to use their time effectively so that it works for them. It changes their life. And the moment you change your life, it's just focus. If it's going to be 6 months that you're going to be focusing, if it's 9 months that you're going to be focusing, if it's 2 years, focus. Because those 2 years, those 9 months, that 1 year is actually, when after that period is past, you're going to see that now you have all the time in the world, because now you're going to get rid of that job that you don't really like, that job that doesn't even pay you anything, but you feel like you have to trade all your hours, trade all your life, all your social. Some people work even night shifts, some people work even weekends, and they're being paid less, money that is not even enough to live and to travel and to enjoy and have a good lifestyle. But if you're trying to get out of that rat race that you feel like you're just up and down, nothing is changing in your life. All you're doing is waking up every morning, going to to a job that you're not even enjoying, with people that you don't even like, and who are even rude and toxic environments that people are working, which is not good for your mental health. You have not slept well, you're doing night shifts. All these impacts that it's having on your mental and physical health is not good, because at the end of the day, what is the point that by the time they'll say, okay, now you can finally retire, you're 68, you're nearly 70, and you are full of all these chronic conditions caused by a lifestyle that didn't even really give you enough money? What was the point? Just to pay your bills and eat? I'm sure there's even people who live in remote Amazon forest or remote Africa, somewhere like that, who are actually just living even better, because all they're doing is just living to eat, isn't it? So we can do the same without having to go for a job for 12 hours. Because these people, they can go and forage food and come back and cook and still eat, and they don't have bills to pay. So they're actually just living hand to mouth. So what's the difference with us who even went to university on top, who are working up every day, leaving our children, dumping children in nurseries, doing all sorts, doing the worst because we can't even sleep. We don't even have time to spend even looking after ourselves, even going to the gym, even looking for nice food that is healthy, because either we can't afford it, or we don't even have time to even just to check according to my BMI, or according to my health, or according to my age, or according to my ethnicity, what kind of food do I need to be eating at what times? We don't have, because we have traded our time to these jobs that we don't even like. But we can change that by just having a time that we're focusing on trying to change our life. This is the 1%. So by incorporating these habits, that will increase your productivity within the activities and tasks that you're doing to try to change your life. You won't be surprised, but in 2 years, 1 year, you're going to be looking back and ticking off at your diary and thinking, oh my goodness, I managed to do this. You'll be so proud of yourself. Remember, you are investing in yourself. Forget what people are going to say. They might say, well, we can't see you anymore, we can't talk to you anymore. But at that time, it's very important to be a ghost, to be hiding, because you're trying to change your life. So noise as well. This can be, you can be working from home and then you put on very loud music. It's going to distract you, because now either you're going to be dancing, or it's not going to make you to be focused on what you really need to be doing. And declutter your table, your workplace, because if your workstation is very cluttered, it's very difficult. You spend more time looking for resources, looking for where's the iPad, or where have I put that pen? Oh, so this is wasted time. So try to use your time as effectively as possible so that you can increase productivity and help you to change your life completely. So another habit that I feel like is very important in whatever you do is, before you shut down for the day, you close for the day, always have a habit to reflect on what you have done. So reflection is very important. Let's see this color. Oh, I like this color. Reflection. Reflection is, why is it important? Reflection, it makes you analyze and see what went well, what were the setbacks. So if you want to get ahead in life, it will be pointless to keep on repeating the same mistake, the same thing, if it's not working. So by giving your time every day before you close for the day to say, okay, what is work? Okay, what did I do well today? Number one, you're going to say, well, I started early start. I had breaks in between, and I managed to stay focused. So you had an early start. You started, like we say, morning routine. You started at 9. And these breaks were maybe 10 minutes after every task, which helped you to stay focused, because you stayed away from social media and you stayed away from your phone, which is distracting you, right? So when you looked at that one, you'd be like, okay, that's fine. So what am I going to do again tomorrow? For you to, and then you realize after, hopefully after, that is what is gone, what went well. And then this, you can see, let's say your project for the day was to complete the audits, and do maybe a financial chart analysis, and you were able to do those two that you're set for that day, a chunk of audits and a little bit chunk of financial analysis for that day, and you're able to do what you've set aside until it work. So you're going to see that, okay, that's when we're why, because I started early, I had a bit of breaks, which was helping me to regroup my mind and make me to keep on focused, motivated, engaged. And also I was able to stay focused. Why? Because I didn't spend time scrolling down on TikTok or on social media, which is so addictive, right? So you're going to look at it and say, okay, so what am I going to do again? Tomorrow you will follow the same routine. So regardless of what you're going to be completing tomorrow, what your task is tomorrow, if you just continue as well and adopt the same routine that you've used today, which has worked, then you're going to see that actually in a week, in a month, you're going to see that your productivity levels have gone up. So so now reflection as well makes you to see what is not going well and what you can do about it. Let's say at some point, right, you were not able to complete a task because your desk was cluttered. Yeah, cluttered workplace, and you feel like you spent so much time, you couldn't find some of the resources, and you're getting frustrated. You ended up having to jump onto your car because you couldn't find maybe the rulers, you couldn't find highlighters that you needed so desperately for this project. So you end up now going to Tesco or a supermarket to go and buy all these other materials that maybe you already have because you didn't plan, you didn't set your workplace well. And in the end, when you went there, you ended up meeting a friend, you started chatting, talking, wasting time. By the time you get home and then you start to set up, your momentum is slumped. Maybe you're not even really motivated to do what you initially wanted to do anyway, because now your brain, you're not as focused and engaged as it was. So you can see that it's already a setback, because that has ended up, maybe you ended up losing even 2 or 3 hours of what you're supposed to do for the day. So now this helps you to adjust your goals. So next time before you go to bed, you're already thinking, okay, so I'm going to do this audit or financial analysis. What materials and resources do I need? You already set your table, your workspace, so that by 9 o'clock when you're starting, you're not going to be starting to look, where are the material? Where is the calculator? Where is that rubber? No, it's already set. You're going to go, boom, straight, go, and you start already to do it, because these setbacks helps you to facilitate tomorrow, to plan ahead. So always reflect before you switch off, and you already plan for tomorrow, because there's no point to go and then you finish for the day. It's been fantastic, you did really well, but then tomorrow you don't even know where you're going to start. So you can see that you can spend all day tomorrow now trying to plan for the day, and then by the time you finally say, okay, I'm going to be doing this, and you set it up, you've already lost another 3 hours. So before you finish for the day, after reflection, you plan for tomorrow, what you're supposed to be doing. You plan and plan and plan and set it up on your desk. So you're going to be plan ahead. So every day, always plan ahead for the next day. Set your workplace already, or workstation completely ready for you by 9 o'clock. And then when you look back, you're going to see these are habits actually that is going to catapult you to the next level. That is going to increase your productivity like you've never seen before. And before you know it, that Lamborghini that you wanted is on the drive. That house that you've always wanted, that country that you wanted to move to, that health, whatever it is that you've been planning and fighting and striving for, you got there, you were able to achieve your goal because you increased your productivity, which helped you to aim high and get where you wanted to go. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.